is a view of the light, a fire burning through the night. We rise, we shine, we take the fight. A view of the
Our new beautiful song available now at places, you know, you can find that like Apple Music and Spotify. Yeah. Oh, I don't get those, but all of those.
Check out our check out our Facebook page. I'll have the link
there's links
later
for
today.
it. It's beautiful inspiration. But hello, one and all. I'm so excited to be here. I'm sharing just a little smudge with you and inviting you in for some special time together here because we have a special guest today. But first of all, I would like to introduce you to my co-host sitting with me. Today we have Rhonda Elliott and we have Teresa Clan. Everybody you can wave, and we have and so Monday Johannesen there. And I'm all excited to have us all. And if you all stay tuned to the end, I will be pulling you a card from a brand new deck I just received that belongs to Amber Wolf, our guest here. And it's the Dragons of Mu. I mean, oh my God, dragons, you guys, you know how excited I am. So we have a lot of fun planned today, but right now I am so excited to present Dr. Amber Wolf, who offers timely wisdom for navigating a world that is asking us to live and lead and to heal just a little bit differently. And so come on in. Welcome, Amber.
Thank you,
My
Teresa.
question
Thanks
is,
so much. Go ahead.
Thank you. What is it? What is it that brought you to Rooted of Resilience? You know what I mean? What was your story that brought you that this?
What was my inspiration?
Yeah.
My inspiration for Rooted in Resilience was the world in its transformation right now that can feel a little scary, a little chaotic. The unknown seems in our face. And each day we have an opportunity to look at that and decide how we're going to be with the energy. And I have done years and many programs that included channeling of the Star Mothers, channeling of the dragons. I have other programs coming up that will have channeling. But this particular program, I was inspired to create from my 40 years of practice as a holistic healthcare practitioner. And I have had thousands of patients / clients over those years, and they've walked away with not just treatments, but with tools. And I will have to say that that's one of the reasons that Lee Carroll / Cryon wanted me to travel with him back in 2010 when he invited me to go on the road with him, was that I brought the practical things to what he would say, the woo-woo. And that is, and I also have to say that I really appreciate how much he trusted me because he hadn't traveled with anybody yet. So he trusted that I would bring something that was different but helpful in a really grounded way. So some of what I've been doing comes from those meetings over the 10 years that I was with him on the road, but many come from my own private practice, and some are just coming in. So these are tools that you can use every day that are simple, that are practical, that can reset your nervous system and keep you in a place of calm in the midst of whatever chaos is going on out there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Love that. And I think that what used to be seen, and maybe you can speak to this as, an addition to life or not necessary, but if you have time, add it to a checklist and maybe get to it or not. Or when life gets challenging, it's the first one that comes off what
Yeah,
we
yeah.
weave into our life. Is that something you can agree with?
I agree that it happens, and there's a sadness in me for that because that's when we need it the most. Why does it fall off the list when we need it the most?
Yeah.
And and that's why I made so many of these exercises really short, like 5 minutes in the morning for your immune system, 5 minutes in the morning for your heart, 10 minutes at night before you go to bed, those kinds of things. So I wanted it to be something that didn't fall off the list. And part of that, if I can get into the psychology part of my education, is that we're always in service to others. And so what is in service to us falls off the list first. Now,
Oh.
do we value others more than we value ourselves?
Is it that guilty of, not wanting to be seen as selfish?
Right. I mean, who wasn't raised with don't be selfish, share it with your
Yeah.
brother, your sister, your little cousin, whatever, all of us. And so selfless, we become selfless. So our self exists down, 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 down the list. So, I watch it with my son who has a partner and 2 dogs and a cat. And so he's at the bottom of the partner, then the dogs and the cat, and then and so I know that happens, and I've been myself without a partner since 2013, so I don't have an excuse. But I want to value myself, this human vessel, this human life, bringing in the divine that I do. I want for my healing to be to value every precious day that I have, that we have, and how can we best show our gratitude to this precious life, to this amazing body that just you wake up every morning and there it is. Well, until you don't, but so far every day, how
It's been
can we
working, yeah.
honor that? And I'll just say, yeah, that's my swimming time, or that's my walking time, or I don't take phone calls first thing in the morning. That's my yoga time or my meditation time. And honestly, it's taken me a lifetime to get to that place. And it's so valuable. And not only do people get it, I begin to model that for other people. And that's really important to me. Not that I want them to look up to me or think I'm better or any of that. I want them to see that this is the possibility for self-nurturing, self-care. You're worth it. You need it. You have to have it. Because what happens if we fall apart down from lack of self-care?
I mean,
No,
personally, I
really.
can feel it within you. It's like you're a tuning fork, vibrating resilience. And I might go off and describe what that feels for me, but I'm sure our listeners would be interested in knowing what does that feel like in our body, and maybe even how does the world mirror that back to us?
Mhm.
I love that.
Well, resilience for me feels like when I get up in the morning or before I go to bed at night, because there's different things that I do, that I feel hopeful, I feel positive, I feel well, I feel that good things can happen, anything can happen. I feel alignment with who I am, but I also don't try not to get stuck there. I'm a double Taurus, so I get lots of lessons about staying in a rut. So
Oh,
introducing new things is really, I like that. I need that. My being needs to see new things, and That, I believe, creates resilience. And if you talk to anybody who's like an exercise trainer or a yoga teacher, they will tell you that you don't do the same thing every day, that you have to vary things. So you don't just get strong arms, or you don't just get flexible. You get many different things. You don't just meditate. That we have all these different inner worlds, and they all need attention at different times.
I was listening to Rise and Shine. That's the show on the Breakthrough Network, just started just before us. And the guest was talking about sort of resilience to me. What it kind of said to me was the buffalo don't put their tail to the wind, they put their head to the wind. So the storm, when it comes, rolls around them. Is that what being resilient means to you? Is that we stand there, face the storm, and it kind of rolls past us and we're still standing?
I like that a lot. Yeah, I like, because the storm is always going to be there in some form. Like even if you have just a flat tire, or if there's a hurricane, there's always some storm. And what I learned from heart math training was coherence. And when we are in our hearts and our heads, when they're in sync, that is where we build resilience. And we can't just build it in our heads, and we can't just build it in our hearts. We can't just build it with our bodies, or not even build it, maintain it. A lot of people say as you get older, it's harder to bounce back from an illness or from an emotional upset or whatever it is. And I believe a lot of that bounce back, that's resilience. And because we don't attend to it ongoingly, we're young, we have resilience. And then we get older and we have less, because we don't have a model for staying resilient as we age. So I think that part of what you said, Rhonda, is, put your head down into the wind instead of the other direction, is that what do we do to build our resilience? So in spite of the storm, in spite of whatever's going on, that it doesn't suck us dry.
That reminds me a little bit of the salmon swimming upstream,
Yeah.
And also what you mentioned, I feel like the nourishment and the self-care, and there's a lot of self-love in it, what you mentioned earlier, and that I love that, being a self-love.
Yeah. Well, because, someone can love us. I know my son loves me, and, I have friends that love me, but they're not next to me in the morning doing yoga for me, or they're not taking a walk for me. They may come with me, but I've got to get this out there to do it. So is it worth it to me? Absolutely. Absolutely. And what happens is that as I age, the things I do change, but I'm still attending to what creates resilience. And it's taken me a long time not to be a wife and a mom that was, always self-caring someone else. And also in my work, I had a very busy practice when I was doing that kind of work. And when I met my husband, he said, "Why are we working 5 days a week? Let's only work 4." And that was a big shift. That was a huge shift, because I was a single mom for years, and I had to work as much as I could. I'd see people late at night if they had to work, and yada yada. And that took a lot out of me. It got harder to take care of myself. So having that balance and looking at how we don't sometimes, and then we don't teach others what we need. It has to come from us. And I think that's a whole new training for women.
Yeah, indeed. And when you're speaking, I can't help to think, Amber, that yes, maybe we do this practice for ourselves, knowing that we need to come more into, integrity with what we need and honor our own truths. But as we do so, not only do we go out in the world almost like a secret emissary, but
Yeah.
we also help build a better world together. It benefits the collective on whatever layer of density and reality that we are each connected to.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And absolutely, absolutely. I mean, if you walk out the door and you just got your head down and you're feeling like, "Rrr," I mean, it doesn't even have to be on the physical, as we know. On the non-physical, we're continuously sending energy out into the world. And if it's not hurting, it's not helping. And if we are helping ourselves, then that's what's going out into the world. I did a lot of teaching in my last class, the next Lemuria, or we are the next Lemuria, about the magnetic field and how sensitive it is and how layered it is and how we can attract through it and how we can send through our field. So yeah, absolutely, we do that.
Yeah, they're having a big discussion offline about the word bounce back. And Jessica Duga, the creator of the Breakthrough Show Network, said they shifted out of the word resilience last year on Beyond 2D because I realized I don't ever want to bounce back. I want to move forward.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Ollie's saying, he's from Belgium. Bouncing back means going to what was before. Each day, the river contains different water. Yeah, so
that's why I like the word resilience better, because it just gives me a building feeling. That it's continuous. It's not back and forth. Right. But we are, if we are upset, or if we're ill, or if someone we know isn't well and we're sending energy to them, that's something that, is kind of contracting in our field. And then what can we do to expand it again, to make it's optimal?
Right. Yeah, because we are senders and receivers.
Yeah.
So
we radiate and we receive. Yeah.
It's like a constant feedback loop. And that's why, what we think, believe, radiate are is what the world, the universes are going to mirror back to us. Yeah.
Yeah.
They said they chose the word perseverance this year instead. So, which is persevering. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
I would argue about persevering. That means you just
like efforting, where resilience is just honoring and being, perhaps.
Yeah.
That's it.
But there's more. See, Amber is not just here telling us we need resilience and telling us that there's tools out there. She's built a really, really neat container, and people are already using it, right? Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, and this is the first time I've done anything like this. I'm really so blessed to have such a great team who creates these things. It's not just a course. It's a living library of tools that you can access whatever feels right during that time of day, that moment, morning, noon, night. And it's divided into the categories of body, mind, heart, and soul. And in each category, there are many different things. There are channels from the Star Mothers. There's songs, there's music, there's a really fun laugh track, because laughing is really, really healthy for us, and we don't tend to do it enough. And when I made that track in the studio with my producer and his wife, and we had all these people in the studio laughing, and we were laughing so hard we were holding our stomachs. So that creates resilience, that kind of thing. Plus there's little things to do, like 5 minutes in the morning for your immune system, 5 minutes in the morning for your heart. There's one called the power of elevated words. So just words that bring up positive feelings. You just say the word, and yeah, I'm sure there's probably about, I'm going to say between 40 and 50 different things to choose from, depending on what your intuition guides you through to that moment, because it's always different. And, when you start to be more attentive to your own resilience, you remember, oh, I can go there and I can choose this or that. And there's something new. Sometimes there's 2 new things in a week that I haven't seen, or I go back to this one because it's really my favorite, or like that. And it gives people a choice to tune into where you are in the moment and just feel that. What is my heart good? Yeah, my heart's good. What about my mind? Yeah, it just won't stop. Let's do something for that. And so I have neuro-linguistic programming in there. I have also EFT, emotional freedom technique, or thought field therapy tapping, because I teach that also. Without cheating and looking at the website now. I'm doing all this. And I probably
Have you added the neurographic artwork to that, or is that just something
we decided not to add neurographic artwork to that because it's not mine. And I know EFT is not mine, but I do teach it. Right. And I don't teach neurographics. Yeah.
It sounds like a picnic basket, which you can just take from what you feel that your mind and body and soul is craving that day. And you can, different times of the day, you may be feeling differently and you may need something different, right?
I try to make it so there's really no excuse, that we all have, moments where we just want to zone out. So, listen to music, or listen to a beautiful song that somebody's singing. You don't have to do anything. You just listen, because we know that sound affects our field as well. So yeah, I try to put lots of choices, because I like, personally myself, a girl's got to have lots of choices. So I like lots of choices, and that is what this is becoming, and it will continue as time goes on, because I have a very large, after 40 years in the healthcare field, I mean, I can't do some things with people, like I can't read their cranial sacral rhythm online, but there are a lot of other things that I can do and teach. So yeah, it's been really fun for me to share that. And I felt it was a time in the world where it was time for us to start being attentive to ourselves.
And just for our people that are listening or are watching this, if you go to the video description, Amber's link to her webpage is there, and it goes right straight to the course. So it's the first thing it's a clickable link. So you click on it, it goes straight to her course, and then all her other offerings are in there as well. And it's a beautiful webpage just to browse around in there. Do you share in your resilience course or toolkit any heart math exercises?
Yes, we do.
And and Teresa Clan's all about heart math up there.
Yeah, I really, it's funny. Here's a little tidbit about heart math. I almost didn't graduate from high school because of math. I did just by the skin of my teeth in the end. And so I tried to stay away from it my whole life. Although I'm very good at adding numbers in my head, but nothing, like calculus, algebra.
Yeah, I hear you.
So years later, 50 years later, maybe 40, I produced Greg Braden and hosted him in Boulder, along with Lee and me. And Greg talked about heart math. And I was entranced. Of course, he's such a good presenter, but the MATH was keeping me away from the HEART part.
And trigger,
Yeah, it really was. Yeah. Well, I didn't want to fail, and it only brought up bad memories for me. So I was just like, walk away from that. But I was I am in. And I was so in that I also invited Howard Martin, who's one of the creators of Heart Math, to come to Boulder and teach. So I didn't have to travel anywhere because I was traveling so much. So that's how in I was with Heart Math, and it's great. And so I would do it. We would do it from the stage where we would hook up a person in the audience to a little thing on their earlobe, and it would project onto the screen what was going on with their resilience level and their pulse rate. And, and the whole audience was watching them, and you could see when they closed their eyes, how all that changed. And when they started to breathe more deeply, how their wave got softer and bigger. And then we would ask the audience to send energy, and that would shift it again. So yes.
Neat. Oh, how exciting all that is. I love that.
I love it when you can see woo-woo in action.
I know, it was really cool. Yeah, when Howard Martin was in Boulder, he gave me the little dongle that you plug into your computer that makes all that magic happen. And it just sat in a drawer for, 5 years. And then I said to Lee, let's do this, let's do this. And so he figured it out, of course, because he's the tech guy. And I did the talking and took a volunteer from the audience who had no idea what they were, that someone was going to be looking into their soul, their heart and their soul. But it was really, to watch it in action and see how powerful our mind and our heart are, and the collective too. It was beautiful.
Yeah, it's handy to have technology assisted consciousness practices. So we know, for instance, once when I was wearing the monitor, I was just sitting reading a book, all comfortable, calm, in nice coherence. And then I turned a page and I instantly went out of coherence.
Oh, how interesting.
Yeah, so that was interesting. And does anybody remember years ago at one of the Burning Mans that Heart Math had an installation there?
Did they really? Wow.
They did. It was a big cone shaped thing, much like, what's it called? The Cheese Grater building in London, England. And it was like that. And people can go up to it and get hooked up to a monitor
and watch
and affect it. And the more people that were present with the higher levels coherence, it lit up more.
Of course it did. That's beautiful. Oh, thanks for telling me about that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I've never been to Burning Man, so a lot I don't know about, but they were there at least once. And this was at least half a dozen years ago or so.
Very cool.
That's great. I love
it's
that.
Amazing that there's proof.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's like proof of life, right?
It's energy.
Yeah. And how amazing it is and how easily we can affect it. Yeah. I have that little dongle, and when I put it on, you really have to be attentive to your coherence. If you're in your head about something, because how many of us can look like we're meditating and be in our head thinking about what's next?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Even when we have guided meditation.
That thing is on there and you're looking at what's happening on your phone. It's no cheating.
This is neat. You guys are telling me that you guys got a little thing that tells you when you're there. Okay, I have a little blood pressure machine that I use, and I do 15 breaths beforehand, and then I take the machine. I'm thinking, oh yeah, look at me, I'm doing so good. But the machine says telling all of you, not just the blood pressure.
Right.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, and now they have ones that aren't wired. I prefer wired because of the EMFs, but the wired just plugs into your phone, and you really, if you're going to be present, you're going to be present. If you're not, you'll know. Yeah.
How cool.
Yeah, for me, I start to realize when I am coherent and when I'm not, and the distinction between it. Maybe that comes over time, and especially for the people you've helped, Amber, with your picnic basket. full of offerings. I love that phrase, Rhonda. Thank you
Yeah,
for
that
it.
was great, Rhonda. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do. I mean, you start, and if you look at a big enough timeline, I ask people all the time, or I suggest to people, put a date on it. What's the date that you started doing this drawing or this magnetic field exercise or these rooted in resilience? And then get in your time machine and look back and see who you were then compared to who you are now. And you really, you're getting somewhere. This is working. It's not just something that you're doing for nothing. I don't know if you remember, but years ago there was a commercial about, I don't remember, it was about being healthy. And this woman goes to a yoga studio, rolls out her mat and does one warrior pose, rolls it back up and walks out the door like, I'm going to do yoga, one. And then a guy goes to the gym, he's got his clothes on and he gets in there and he pulls the thing down and lets it up, walks out the door, one. And then he has breakfast and he puts one blueberry in his bowl and that's going to be his breakfast. And the thing is, it doesn't work like that. You build something that it can't just be once. Unless you want that to be the end, and I'm not there yet. So
I wouldn't call that resilience.
I'm sorry?
I wouldn't call that resilience.
No, I wouldn't. I'd call it a very, when I saw that commercial, I was like, yeah, here you are. Like making New Year's resolutions that only last a couple of weeks or a couple of months, and then you start micro-shaming yourself all day long, which is another thing that's in my Rooted in Resilience, is turning micro-shaming into tenderness for yourself. Yeah, because we do that. The voice in our head is always making judgments and comparisons pretty much all day long. And when we can find that moment that it's happening, we can do something else. We can turn it into something tender. And my friend Mindy, who's been on my team for years, says, don't you go talking about my friend Amber that way.
Yeah,
But
and
we do. We talk to ourselves that way. And, as if it will help. Has it ever helped? No. Will it ever? No. But we do it. It's a program and we do it. And the way out of it is to say, hey, this is happening, and when I find that I'm noticing that it happens, I can make a choice.
Yes.
I can choose.
Also taking accountability.
Yeah. Because nobody, like I said with, anything else, nobody else is going to choose out of it for you. It would be great, but it doesn't work that way.
There's a public speaker, Lisa Nichols, and she has a book about resilience way back in the old days. And what she was saying, comparing it to, is it's like a muscle, something you got to use. And that reminds me of some of the stuff Dr. Joe Dispenza says about our neural network. There's super highways going certain ways. And it's by that constant practice or daily or, that builds the new super highway or gives us that good muscle that we're working on.
Yeah, the neurology of all of these things is absolutely happening. I mean, when you're building a new habit or you're, deciding to eat better or exercise more or do Rooted in Resilience exercise, whatever you do will change who you are because it changes things in your brain. And if it doesn't change things in your brain, then it's not going to last. And you have to keep doing it. It doesn't just change. It's not like flicking the switch on the wall and the light comes on. Were that we could, that'd be fine with me. But evidence shows over human evolution that it isn't like that yet. So building your attention, building your resilience, building your heart coherence, all of those things are things that we build. And I really wanted this program, Rooted in Resilience, to be able to do that in a way that wasn't oh, I got to sit and do this for 10 minutes every day. I got to, like that. Because who needs that? You won't do it.
Have you got a quick little on the go one that you could share with our audience? A little exercise, like, one of the ones from your
Body, mind, heart, or soul?
Heart.
Okay. Yeah. But you're going to have to close your eyes.
Okay. Don't do it if you're driving, of course.
Yes, please don't do this if you're driving.
Just listen to the podcast again.
Yeah. And then place one hand on your heart, either hand, it doesn't matter. And then let one hand come down to your belly wherever it rests. You're going to breathe in through your nose into your belly and then breathe out again through your nose. And then do it again. One more. Now I want you to breathe in through the hand that's on your heart. And breathe out through the hand that's on your belly. And do that again. And as you're doing that, when you breathe in, you can say thank you. And when you breathe out, you can say in your mind, I love you. Let's do that 2 more times. And when you're finished, keep the breath going, but you can just relax both your hands onto your lap with your palms up. Big breath in, exhale through your mouth. You might feel some energy in your hands, your heart, your belly. And then when you're ready, open your eyes.
Oh, I love that. I felt so nurtured and loved, as if I was in a womb or an egg even. I just felt like, man, I am held.
Yeah, well. And we don't do it alone, because there's a group of us doing it right now. There's also a group out here doing it with us. So, yeah. Another one I'll give you that's really quick. When you're feeling at all unsure or anxious, and this is so simple, and it's a great reset for your nervous system. You just cross your hands here. So your fingers are below your collarbone, but out on the edge. And you just tap one side and the other. And you can close your eyes for this too. And breathe. Just let your body relax. And what I always find when I'm doing this is I start off fast tapping, and then I slow down. And then when I slow down, my body starts to kind of rock gently side to side. And my neck gets soft. And my breath. Yeah, it's good. And then again, just relax your hands down into your lap and take another breath.
I love the presence.
Yummy, huh?
Beautiful. Angel wings, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, angel wings are an honoring of Isis, some people would say. I found it fascinating, especially with the first one. I felt it physically, but also in like my aura around me. And I thought that was interesting, how healing that would be. So not only are your practices helping us in the moment to maintain, being rooted in resilience, but it also can do some sort of like healing, because some of my training has been whatever, say if you're experiencing something physical, the cause could be a level up on the mental or emotional. And if you have issues there, the cause could be up more in, in the heart area, for instance. So the more we do that, the better. Like the repetition. The
Yep.
repetition. Yeah.
Yeah, and it becomes, I mean, for me, a lot of these things are second nature because I've done them so long, but there are some new ones that are coming in that are not things I've done for so long. And I have to remind myself to do it. But I also feel guided to do it because I have a very strong intention now where I didn't. My agenda was every day I'm going to do yoga and swim, or yoga and walk, or qigong, and and it was just like rote, depending on the day. I had choices, but with this, I feel like my field is talking to me and telling me,
Yes.
it's not up here. And if you look at an MRI of somebody's head, magnetic resonance imaging, you see the magnetic field. It's about here on the head. So this is what your head can do in terms of energy in the world. The magnetic field of your body goes out as far as your fingertips reach in every direction. So you're this giant cocoon of magnetic resonance in the rest of you because of your heart. And so that definitely sends that magic into the field. And the field knows what we're doing. It's all connected. The Pleiadian star mothers call it the divine matrix, that we are all connected by this divine matrix. And every time someone intentionally connects to their field with love, with peace, with compassion, with empathy, it lights up a place in the field because we have free will and we can decide to do it or not. And so when that matrix lights up, they can see it. They know what we're doing, where we're doing it. And that more and more, as one of the comments just said, that there are right now, while we're doing this, there are other people in the world doing it too.
And this contributes to the Schumann resonance when it raises.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm recalling your phrasing, like rooted in resilience. Those are like the roots under the trunk of the tree.
Yeah.
A tree grows, moment to moment. They that's just natural to them. And it's often when we forget we're part of nature too, and that's natural to us as well. And I suppose, Amber, you would say it's important for us to be in this resonance and feel that. And like T-Dubs was saying about the Schumann resonance, but also connecting with the heart of the planet we are on and staying in sync with her, especially during these challenging times we're finding ourselves in.
It's really easy to get ungrounded, literally, physically, from the planet because, for one thing, wherever you are, there's a space between you and the earth, unless you're, living on a farm in the summertime and you can go barefoot everywhere, or you're on the beach, or, things like that. But most of us have, cement under our feet and shoes and all of that stuff. But down there, really, all the way, it's still Gaia. She is there. And how do we stay rooted to that? And, in neurographic art, they make a beautiful tree, and it has a whole lesson behind it. But the drawing lesson. But the bottom line of the lesson is you can't make the top bigger than the roots because it's not balanced. So the roots literally are always bigger than the top. So what is underneath, what is rooted for us in the world has to be, or we choose it to be, something that keeps us balanced between the top of the tree and the roots of the tree.
And this is beautiful. I'm so grateful that you're on our show today, Amber. And especially for those people who feel, hey, I'm only one person. What can I do? Do I write letters to the politicians, et cetera, et cetera? This is exactly what we can each do. Like the change starts within.
And it's different for everybody. I know people that are very much activists and write letters or show up for protests or march for peace or whatever. For me, that I have a more inward way of working with what I feel I can do. And it all makes a difference. I believe that very strongly.
Be the change you want to see in the
Yep,
world.
exactly.
Be the change.
Yeah.
Amber, it's been terrific with you. But before we get into the card, which you and Teresa are going to do a duo partnership on, could you sort of just explain where people can find you, and if you have any special workshops coming up, and maybe just explain what
Yeah.
you can find you in.
Yeah, of course. AmberWolfPhD.com is the big website where stuff is. Right now we have a free little class called 7 Days of Vitality. And it's instead of New Year's resolutions. We started it on January 3rd, but it's ongoing. You can just find your way there, and 7 Days of Vitality. And it's just like resilience, only there are different things that you do than is in my course. That there's something for every day. So that's there for anyone that would like that. And upcoming on February 17th, because it's the Lunar New Year. Oh, and I wanted to say, I'm going to put a pin in that for a sec, that today is 1/11/1 in numerology.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Isn't
it.
that wild? Oh, I just got a chill.
In a 1 year, right? In 1
Yeah,
year.
so 1 year. Yeah, new beginnings. So the Lunar New Year is in the new moon on February 17th, and I'm going to be doing an online event for that. It's not quite up on my website yet, but stay tuned. It will be because it's the beginning of the year of the horse, and it's a very different energy than the year of the dragon and the year of the snake. They were sort of clearing the way for the year of the horse, the fire horse, which is very powerful, forward-moving energy. So that will be on the 17th, and I'm hoping to be able to launch my new course then, which I haven't decided on how it's going to exactly show up, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be Lemurian vibrational medicine, and I'm going to teach how to actually make elixirs and crystals, and we're going to do all that like we used to do in Lemuria.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's so wonderful. And in April, everybody come back. April 26th, we're going to have Amber on again, and she'll be talking about the book We Are the Next Lemuria, right?
Yeah. And the divine feminine, and how the divine feminine is going to save the world, or is saving.
Yes.
But yeah, that's you can just check my events page on my website, and you'll
There's lots of.
always
It's
know.
a beautiful website, and there's lots
thank
of
you.
information there. It's very,
Yeah, on your homepage, there's that lovely sort of poem that you created with a beautiful.
Yeah, the goddess of Mu.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's lovely. Amber, I'm curious, have you heard about different Lemurian portals being around the planet? Like Mount Shasta is a well-known one. Rhonda and I went there together. But even here in Victoria, British Columbia, Canada area, there's one here too. I heard about it. I went to it. Curious, will it feel the same as the one in Mount Shasta? And you know what? It did. It was 100%.
Wow.
The same.
Are you familiar with the nodes and the nulls of Gaia?
The nodes, yes.
Nodes, node.
But the nulls, I am not.
Nulls. Okay, so the nodes, this was brought through by Cryon over the years, that there are 12 energy places on the planet called nodes that the Pleiadians put time capsules. The Pleiadian star mothers put time capsules to be awakened at certain times. And many of them, more than half of them, have been sung open by the Lemurian choir over the years. And the first one was in 2012 in Maui. And so some of them are impossible to reach. And so I think they're going to have to be opened in other ways, or maybe they're self-opening. I don't know that. But Mount Shasta is one of those nodes. And I've been to a lot of the nodes. I've been to the one, I've just been to a lot of the nodes. And they all feel different to me from each other. And they all, for me, have a certain vibration or certain difference. But Mount Shasta is special. There's just something about it. And I don't know, I went there the first time on my birthday with Cryon in 2010, and we did one of those tourist things. We came in, drove to the place, stayed for the weekend, and left. We did the same thing again the next year. I could see the mountain, but I never could be on the mountain. So the third time we went, I did the come early, stay late thing and went on the mountain. And I had this experience of I wasn't going to leave. And the guy that brought me up there, that's a tour leader, was a little concerned because I was just going to spend the night there. And I didn't even have a water bottle. I mean, I had shorts and a little shirt. It was summer. And I just had, and I was pretty adamant for a while, which is, it wasn't at all logical. It was just the energy. It was just the energy welcoming me. And so so I go every year now, and I'll be going this coming year in September, take a group there. And it's, for me, that is that. And the rest of California, don't care.
Yeah.
Don't care. It's like its own place. And
sure, there were places.
And I know that from my original time in Lemuria that I didn't leave when everyone left.
Yeah.
And that they went all over the planet. And I know that they hit the coastlines of North and South America. And that's why they were in Rapa Nui and New Zealand. And that's why you can feel it on that western coast of British Columbia and Alaska. There's the energy's there. And if you find a portal, I found a ley line last year. That was my assignment from the Star Mothers. The year before, they said, when you come back, this was the last day I was there, when you come back, you're going to find the ley line that's here. I was like, oh, great. I have to wait a year for this. And I did find it. It wasn't where I thought it would be. I was sure I knew where it was, but I had to just sort of stop thinking and just feel. And I found it, and it was not what I expected, and beautiful. So I know that energy is all over our planet. I know that when the Star Mothers were here, certain minerals were exposed, crystal beds and other mineral beds were exposed, and they got the consciousness. And that's why we now have things called Lemurian crystals.
Yeah.
And then they were buried again, as the Earth in those thousands of years went through her expansions and contractions. So I'm not surprised when I feel it in a place that I didn't think it would be, and when people tell me about it, and the other thing is, not everybody will feel it where you feel it, because they don't have that Lemuria and Akash.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So you, Teresa, I don't know how I'm going to do this, but anyways, Teresa, can you,
T-dubs?
T-dubs. T-dubs. I'm going to put you up here. I'm going to put you both down here.
Gotta clean this. Okay.
Okay. So you want to hold the card.
This is a card for the energies of next week, and I want to show you. It's a brand new deck I got right now. The Dragons of Mu. Oh my God, I'm so excited. And then I shuffled the deck, I promise you, and guess what came out? Well, exactly the Dragons of Mu.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh. Oh my God.
So I actually shuffled again and got another Dragon of Mu come out. So they are definitely represented today. And so I'm going to read the Dragon Blessing. And then Amber will have more insight that I'm
Okay.
so excited to find out about. Okay. In the mystical realms of the dragons of Mu, your multidimensional sacred allies dwell. Through the teachings of the dragon wheel, they are here to guide, uplift, and awaken humanity. Each of the 8 dragons hold a unique divine light code that is a gateway to your inner dragon, your luminous source of intuition, support, love, magic, and truth. The Dragon Light Code shares their secrets, both mystical and practical, with their joy and their star-born wisdom. The dragons of Mu are living frequencies, ancient and benevolent, here to support your connection to the star families, Lemuria, and your divine source DNA. They are a bridge between the human and divine you, where the wisdom of your Akash and the brilliance of your old soul blueprint originates. Align with each dragon's vibration through the card spreads, the light codes. Okay, I got that one all wrong. Align with each dragon's vibration through card spreads, the light codes, meditations, or rituals. Invite the awakening like a mystical phoenix rising and the shimmering magic of your innermost transformation. Here, you will find sacred alchemy, radiant embodiment, and cosmic remembrance. Dragons blaze the path ahead, illuminating your journey of rediscovery to the reclaiming the light of the magnificent glory of you. Isn't that beautiful?
Ooh.
Wow.
Oh,
Who wrote that? That was great.
Yeah.
Where can somebody buy the deck?
They're on my website, and I was just thinking, as I should have planned better for this, I would love to give your listeners a discount. So if we could do that retroactively, and I'm, let's see, Monday, Tuesday, tomorrow, I'm meeting with Jenny, and I'll get that to you.
Okay.
On my website, there's a place that says My Store. There are also 3 dragon activations that are not in the card deck, but they're on my website. So you can
We can do a separate post and put your stuff there and then have the discount in the post. So
Okay.
we can do that. That'll be excellent. That would be lovely.
Yeah, happy to do that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
I would love to send some to the Faroe Islands. I haven't done that yet.
please,
But
please.
they've gone all over the world. but they
We'll
haven't
get you
done
guys.
that.
I'm going to send you both a link. So the link
Okay.
the link we were talking about earlier. So
Great.
I'll CC you both in that mail. So you'll both
Wonderful,
I'll
wonderful.
get that both your email addresses afterwards, and then I'll be able to do that.
Thank
So
you.
so any insight on that one or the Earth Dragon?
Well, that dragon is sort of the herald, I would say, HEARLD, of all of the dragons. It sets up a vibration for any of the dragons to enter your life. It's an introduction to the dragons. And I have to say, just to sort of anyway, my own self, I have never been a dragon person, never. And when I was, and the Star Mothers over the last, since 2010, have been giving me things I've come to know as sacred assignments. And I had finished the last course that I did, and I was kind of in the place of what's next. And I woke up one morning and they said, the dragons are next. And I was like, really? Like, dragons, there's the Oriental dragon that's good luck and it comes out at parades and stuff, and then there's the European one that's like
Always getting a sword
livestock, and always the knights are trying to kill him and all that. And I was like, nah, don't feel it. Don't feel it. And the Star Mother said, you will, and we'll guide you there. And it's going to start with a wheel, with this 5-spoke wheel, like the Lemurian teaching wheel. And I was okay. Or the shamanic teaching wheel. It's the 5-spoke wheel. And so little by dragon, there were 7 dragons, and each one representing a different part of the wheel: the earth, the air, the wind, not the air, because the wind is moving. So the earth, the wind, the fire, the water, the rainbow dragon, which is all about inclusivity of your own parts that you've disowned. And so those were, and the silver, which is the rim of the wheel, and the golden dragon, which represents us, which is we're the hub of the wheel. And it was all done. And then the great mother dragon came through, she just gave me a chill.
Yeah.
He is sort of the the umbrella, the overarching boss of everybody, and quite beautiful and powerful. I get a very strong power from her that she doesn't really use in a scary kind of way, but in more of a this is the egg you're holding here, and hold it with love and intention.
I love that.
Happy sigh.
Yeah.
Thank you. This has been wonderful. So many times I talk to just a blank computer screen because I'm making, the next whatever it is. And it's so wonderful to have you, all of you, because you're just different, beautiful energies bouncing around in this sacred circle with me. And anyone that's also listening. And I love the comments because I got to see those too. So that was great.
Yeah, it's nice that we have the interactive audience.
Yeah.
And it's nice that we have a podcast that they can listen to when they're just driving around, or they can go back to the YouTube and look at all the last 9 seasons. This is our 9th season.
Wow.
And yeah, considering we thought it was going to be 3 months, we did pretty good. Yeah, we've done really well. I mean, faces have changed, people have fallen, lives go on.
Yeah.
But Teresa, we are so lucky. We are so fortunate to have everybody with
Resilient.
us. Resilient.
Yes.
Is resilient.
There's that word. That's exactly what it means. Yeah.
But we were so glad you can be on again, and we're looking forward to seeing you again this year, and can't wait.
Thank you, Rhonda and Anne and Teresa and Teresa.
Yeah, now we got 2 T's.
Teresa.
And T Carey.
So excited to have this.
Yeah. Well, thank you for having me. It's always delightful to spend time with like people who are vibrating and talking about vibrating and doing things that really, hugs from those in the audience. That was lovely.
Yeah, lovely.
You're doing it. And I appreciate that you're doing it. And the world does too.
Thanks so much. Well, take care, everybody, and we'll see you next week.
In next week's episode, we're diving into the world of the Spirit Walker, and that's a book by author Susan Manano, and she'll be here, and she'll be sharing about her journey to all the way to becoming a soul reader. And she shares personal stories, which are kind of exciting because they were out in the wilderness. She's out in the wilderness meeting spirits, and she'll share those stories with us and explore the wisdom gained from her time there. So
Yeah, as a park ranger, right? She's a former park ranger. Right?
Wow.
Yeah, so very cool.
I have personal stories.
Take care, everyone. Stay on. We'll be back after, once we've done. Okay, thanks.
Okay,
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
This is a view